This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello, my name's Arthur Alvendia and welcome to our program. Now, the topic today is going to be about political parties. Now, this brings me back to, let's start with America. You have the Republicans, you have the Democrats. The Democrats leaning towards libertarian ideas, while the Republicans going for country and state first and foremost. And then we go to Stephen Sakur, the interview with Trililing, and he was asked, so, are you a Democrat or a Republican? And he answers, I am a nationalista. Now, absurd as it did sound, it's off tangent. But let's go further, let's go deeper and try to understand the concept of nationalista, assuming there is one. So, well, we look at it and we try to find out what it is that nationalista stands for. Surely the COMELEC has requirements and certifications, documentary certifications of platforms, the multiple political parties that we have today. Because of the party-list system, we have over 200 political parties. But let's look at 1, 2, or 3, or 4 of the major political parties. I'm sure that if you look and research, they would have written platforms, at least documentary evidence that they stand for something. But how is that possible when after every election and whoever is the Speaker of the House or whoever is the President, the popularity system takes over? Meaning, for example, nawala si Speaker of the House, nawala yung PDP laban. All of a sudden, everyone's in hukbong. Considering that's only a regional party, it's not even a major national political parties. Meaning, we have what we call political butterflies, which is one of the issues that were brought up in the CONCOM. But then again, federalism, the CONCOM and everything seems to have taken a break. It stepped on the brakes and stopped moving whatsoever because the president has other issues to attend to. Today we're going to talk about exactly that, the political parties, the nonsensical or seeming, why even have it? Why? Because they want a name before their name. Like, you know, once I was asked if I wanted to be a sir, and all I had to do was be active with charities. And I said, hang on, I don't have to have the title sir like the English have, the noblemen. Because wherever I go, because I'm a sole proprietor, I guess, everyone out of, how do you say it, being nice, they say, Sir Harry. But really, I'm no sir. I'm just like you and me. We're all the same. We're all exactly the same. But out of respect, they say, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, with us we have Butch Valdes from the KATIPUNAN and DEMOKRACIANG PILIPINO, KDP. We also have Arthur Alvendia, who's with the CNG. Incidentally, the Citizens National Guard, this is now the 6th month, is that right? 6th or 7th month, that we feature the CNG every first Monday of the month. Gentlemen, salamat you're here. Let's talk political parties. Di ba? That's what we were discussing. What is it you don't like about political parties? Para we can put the nail on its head.
Well, that they are all parties of convenience and parties of personalities.
Kailangan pa ba?
Huh?
I remember when I ran for Congress, I was told, I was required to have a political party.
Right.
Sabi ko, pwede ba lagay independent? I'm not sure if I was allowed to, but I looked for a party and then I put that party. But I was wondering, can you actually run without one? Pwede naman, ano? Independent.
I think so if they're not going to consider you a nuisance candidate. No?
Oh, I remember. That's what I was told. For
Yeah.
fear of being nuisance, mag-political party ka. So we are forced to go into the absurd by the COMELEC.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's
And the
go
political parties that are supposed to be registered, although, like you said, they have something written as their philosophy or whatever, most of the members and candidates of those political parties don't even know what is written. No?
Assuming they can even read. Okay, go ahead.
None of them really can say that the economic program or policy of my political party is this, and this is our foreign policy. This is our agriculture policy or education policy. None of them have that. They might individually have some ideas, as to what they think agriculture should be or economics should be. But as a political party, zilch, zero. No? And all of them, Nationalista Party, Liberal Party, PDP Laban, and all of these other parties do not have that. They are being led by personalities, and personalities who have a lot of money to fund the candidates and the party.
That's the real purpose of the political party.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Now,
pera party.
that's it. In our case, seeing this whole circus going on again, the members of our CNG, the members of our Save the Nation, Renaissance Philippines, Solidarity for Sovereignty, all of these members of the different movements that we are associated with or we have founded are saying this cannot go on. And they insisted that we enter the political arena using all of our advocacies and placing it as a program that we would submit to the people for the people to appreciate, and if they so decide, will favor us with their votes. No? And that's why we decided to go into this political fray. Our strength is not that we have money. We don't have money. Our strength is not that we have personalities. We don't have personalities the way they have. But our strength is that we are different from these existing political parties. And our difference is precisely what the people are clamoring for.
Arthur.
Yeah, the difference, I think, is the ideas. This is a party that pushes for new building principles, new values, new issues, address the specific problems that it's really destroying our nation. As you know, a government, a society is really formed by the ideas that formed it, the principles behind it. For example, to be concrete, there's always a debate now, for example, on the role of government. You classify parties whether they want less government or more government. KDP, CNG, stands for a role of government that's more patriarchal. Patriarch. In other words, as a father, it takes care of his children, so it doesn't.
So less government.
Not less government. Government where it's needed. For example, privatization has been taken as a policy that means less government. But,
yes, correct.
and we have adopted here in the Philippines. But it has not worked. As you see, you've seen it take over our utilities, and it has resulted in the highest power rates, the highest utility rates, So it's not.
Well, we can blame Cory for that. It was during our time she sold everything.
No, but you see.
And Ramos, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, but that's precisely the point. You see, we blame somebody, we blame a party, we blame personalities, but really, it's an economic religion that's behind underlying the governance of the governance system. You have globalization economics now that's really forming all our policies. So, you're
Ibang issue yan. Malalim din yan,
malalim yan.
globalization.
Pero kung parang ano yan, we have multiple choice and the choices are already defined. But the problem is the solution is not in any of those choices. You really need a new thinking, a new social order of sort.
But the ones who define political parties in this country then is not the COMELEC that regulates it or supposed to regulate. It's ABS-CBN and GMA7 because through the teleseries, they create popularity, certain celebrities that become popular, and they're the ones who run the party. And because of their personalities, the popularity, they're the ones who get chosen, and the parties encircle around them. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there is really, we have not had a real political party. Or did we have that during the Liberal and the Nacionalista in the 60s?
Well, I would like to think that there were, during those times. But right after the war, when we had the Nacionalistas and Liberals, even the philosophies of these parties were not clear-cut, different. No? Marcos
He
transferred from Liberal Party to the Nacionalista Party. Okay,
overnight.
And all of this. Now, so even at that time, I do not think there were clear-cut ideas that differed from.
Are you saying the political party should be the one to control the candidates, not the other way around?
Well, any political party, I
Should
think,
control.
must be governed by certain ideas and philosophy. A political party, that's why we are like-minded. Why? Because our ideas jive, right? And this coordination of ideas in terms of governing a country or governance, will fall into place. Now, another party might have another idea. Let's make it very clearly different. Like Communist Party of the Philippines. It is a party. It is based on a certain ideology. They have their own ideas as to how a society must be governed, right? On the other hand, you have another party, like for example, our KATIPUNAN DEMOKRACIANG PILIPINO. We have our own ideas as to what is going to be very good for the people in our society. We think in terms of what, let's say, the future should be, and not just what is good for the people today. What we're trying to do as a party is create the conditions so that future generations are going to have a better quality of life than what we have now.
Talking about the power, authority, and the influence of the political party, if you have a party head who is not necessarily a candidate, who does not necessarily have a mandate, di ba? So, you have a political party and you have a party head and you have 1 or 2 or 100 members that have a mandate that were voted by the people. And they belong to your party. Should the head of that political party, or it sounds, he should be in control of all these people. Dapat sundan niya yung kung anong gusto ng political party, hindi yung ano gusto niya.
Hindi. Dapat yung partido.
Or kick him out of the party.
Exactly. Dapat ganyan.
Has that ever happened?
I don't know if that ever happened, but that's what we're telling our people here now in the KDP. No? These are our policies. These are the issues that we have.
Pag hindi mo sundan
And if you don't agree with them, you may have to leave. Thank you for being with us. We respect your opinion. No?
But when the candidate gains his mandate, should it be the political party's position or the one person that won the mandate?
He must pursue the position of the political party. And if he does not pursue
But by law, it is the candidate who gets the mandate.
Yeah,
by law.
But we're assuming that he was elected not because of himself, but because of the
Of the
program
party.
that they're going to
In the
implement.
party list system, when a party list has won, the name of the candidate, he can be replaced by, from what I remember, right, what I've read, pwedeng palitan ng party list yung kandidato eh, even though siyang may mandato. The mandate is the party list, not the candidate. Is this correct?
That's correct.
So maybe we should tweak the COMELEC, the legislation. Should it not be tweaked? So that the candidates stand for something, rather than Juan de la Cruz, who is a movie star, whose rating now is high, but after he gets elected, nalaos na yung sini niya.
Well, you know, the party list, they're supposed to be sectoral representatives. I have my own reservations about that idea. No? Because the congressman in that district represents everybody in that district. No?
That's true.
Now, why will you put superimpose a sectoral representative
That's the right
in
word,
that district?
superimposed.
Yes. So I have my reservations about that. And this funny thing about these sectoral representatives, they say, I will push for the interests of those people in my sector, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, okay? But again, we know that this has been abused and abused
Yes.
and abused. Okay? That's why when you mention party list, probably it's not something that can be that should be discussed in the same idea
As a
as
political.
national political parties, because national political parties, it's incumbent upon them, and if they don't have, they should have. It's incumbent upon them to have a philosophy, to have a specific program of government, no? That this will be presented to the people. This is exactly what we're going to be doing. You know, if and when you elect us. That should be the position. No?
Arthur.
Yeah. And I think the gap has been, there has been no definition of an alternative philosophy of running government, of running the economy, because what we have been looking at has been the Western model, the debate between more government or less government. Okay, if you say more, and that has prevented, in fact, our government for taking a more proactive role in empowering, let's say, the 99, because according to those rules of the free market, which we have adopted implicitly as well,
Yes.
under globalization. Globalization economics says, do not interfere in the market. So, government, who is the only equalizer, the only one who can enable the 99 to compete in the market, is taken out of the picture. And you're saying, no, shouldn't do this. And even
So government is remiss at that stage.
not only remiss, really, it's abdicated its role.
Abdicated, which is your point of view. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are very clear examples of this. For example, you have an agro loan that requires banks to set aside 25% of their portfolio into agriculture.
It is not followed, yes.
It is not followed, and it is institutionalized disobedience. The banks do not do this at all, and they just prefer to pay the penalty. When you compute the equivalent of that penalty, you're depriving the agricultural sector right now something like 300 billion pesos per year.
Well, now we seem to suffer it with the rice crisis, the
Yeah,
fish
well,
crisis,
Yes,
inflation.
again, and look, and this is where the globalization prescriptions, the prescriptions of globalization economics says, no, you liberalize import.
That's been
See,
the...
you
Why?
look at the solution.
Wait, gentlemen, we're going to have to slow down. We're going to have to take a short break. I know we just started. If only we could expand time. Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back.